So this is a deck in response to the current meta and basically what I actually want to play. I love the Pan deck. So, and if you didn't know already, Mecha Frieza and as well as Mass Saiyan is pretty much all you're really gonna see when it comes to going against anybody in the any kind of local tournament, basically. So this is my way of playing what I want, and as well as being kind of a troll, and I'll show you exactly why. So let me just go into it real quick. If you've never played a Pan deck, basically your effect, if you can't see it from here, if you haven't looked it up already, you know, whenever you play a battle card, so let's say if you play Kaba or Trunks, it adds 5,000 to that card in addition to its own attack. And then as well as if it's over 20,000, so this would be 10,000, and then this would be 20,000. If it's 20,000 or more, you'll be able to draw. And you can actually do this once per turn. It doesn't say your turn, but it does say once per turn, and I'll explain that a little bit more. This is also, keep in mind, for energy you do switch over or flip over, excuse me, and then use 2 energy back to active, or use the effect to turn 2 energy back to active. So it is one of the newer leaders, and the way that I set this up is to have a slight aggro slash you know, I would say a response and counter to most Mecha Frieza decks, and that's mainly because of a few different cards. And you may have seen this deck profile, you know, around, but this is kind of a concept in work. Let's put it that way. I played a similar deck just without the Jurens, and it works pretty well. So going through this, these are the red cards here. The first one is the Rushing Warrior Pan. If when you do play her, you can choose one battle card to have 5,000 attack or more. And then when you combo from the battle area, you get one card, and you'll see that a lot when it comes to all the cards here that you'll be able to actually draw. And this is just another one. This is probably the only red card that I would say I might be able to take out. Maybe add another Super Saiyan 3 Goku, or another Unending Awakening, so that way we can have some more counters in there. But really, this is a pretty good card when you just want to go ahead and add to your threat, as far as when you're attacking, when you combo with Fearless Pan, whatever it may be, because it's just a 1 cost, and you just add on 5,000, and it's easy. You can kind of pick and choose based on what the opponent is. But moving on, Saiyan Kaba, he is a very much of a staple for any kind of red deck. You know, you take 1 life, you control the way that your life is set up early in the game or later in the game. If you're being stalled at 6, and then you can awaken if you'd like. He does gain 10,000 attack power. If you play him first, he has 20,000 attack power with a double strike, which is pretty deadly, literally within the first 2 turns. So if you're gonna do a mulligan, you might want to have him in there, so that way you can start out the round right. And if you're playing Mass Saiyan, it is pretty good to have some red cards, including him, and as well as the Champa that gives double strike with critical. So that's pretty good. This is the Ghetto Sensu Bean, which is the Unending Awakening. If you negate the attack, gains 5,000 for your leaders. That's pretty good. Lasts the whole turn. A 2-drop critical, that's very much of a staple. Super combo for Haniguro, very much of a staple. The game changer for Reds, the G without the O, Fearless Pan. You play this card, you combo with the Chain Attack Trunks. I mean, you do have a couple of targets here, actually a lot of targets here. And my main target is going to be her, and as well as a couple other cards that I'll mention later on. And basically, you go ahead and play her, and then every single one of your cards on the field, other than her, will gain 5,000 and double strike. So let's say let's say you do have a Kaba, right, and you do have a Trunks. You do have a double shot Vegeta, which if you combo the previous turn, he plays in rest mode, and then you gain a draw because he's over 20,000 because you did play on their turn. You see where I'm going with this, and then you know, you played him basically for 1 energy, you played him for 1 energy, you played her for 1 energy, and then you play him and or him, and you have a whole full board that you can play Fearless Pan or evolve on him, play Fearless Pan, everybody gains 5,000, and double strike, including your leader, by the way. And then you can go ahead and go on with the onslaught. So that, again, she's very versatile, and she does have blocker, and she does have barrier. So you can't get rid of her. You just can't. Very strong. She's going up in value for a good reason. I just explained Vegeta. When you do combo with it, so when you do combo on their turn to either block or negate or out combo somebody, whatever it may be, you know, add in a Hanagiro to draw, play him for free, or really 1 energy because he has 1 cost energy for 10k, and then play him, draw on their turn, and then have more options, and then, you know, you have more options to go into your cards. So I'm over explaining that, so I'm sorry. This is my decision to put this one in here. The ability Unleash Gentleman Gohan. He is, again, for hand control, maybe even a target for chain attack Trunks if you really don't have anybody else. And then when you won't have any issues as far as this deck goes when you if you don't have any cards in your hand. You're gonna have cards in your hand, so you'll always have options for chain attack Trunks. But when you don't, and you don't need to draw, this man has double strike. So if Fearless Pan doesn't work out or whatever it may be, boom bam bing, it's a pretty okay 3-drop, pretty damn good target for chain attack Trunks if you need be. Same thing for Son Goku. This one only had 1 in here. I mean, in real life and as well as this, but I mean, he could be 2 or he could be 0. I mean, that's really where I am. I'm very in between. Everybody, each of your battle cards, everybody who is red, everybody is red, so everybody who is a battle card is going to be red, gains 5,000, and as well as your leader card. So literally the Fearless Pan, just without the double strike. So I mean, you do have him on there. That's a 20k double strike right there. Just a regular 20,000 there. A lot of good threats. Anyway, so chain attack Trunks, if you didn't know already, he can evolve for 2. So Trunks is going to be your target for that. I'm never going to use him for 4. It's just not going to happen. But he can attack cards in battle mode, in active mode, so that's very useful if you are going against Mecha Frieza and everybody is in attack mode, and it's just annoying because, like, why are you in attack mode? You just attacked me 4 times, that sort of thing. And again, you get to choose 1 battle card with a power of 15,000 or less and play it. So you got Fearless Pan, you got another Quick Trunks, you got some Goku, you got Gohan, you got Vegeta. Again, you're probably not going to be able to. You're probably not going to be using him for that. But I'll explain why I have 4 instead of the 3 that usually people have. Topo, you get to play him for 2 if the opponent's leader is awakened or 15,000 or more. And that's another thing. If they combo or if they have a Sensu Bean or whatever it may be, you can still play him for 2. I mean, that's still kind of a thing, right? It's gonna last the whole turn. If they have Unending Awakening and they're using the same deck, that's gonna be a thing. And he's just a good overall card because he can negate, and then he can go back to active mode whenever he KOs a battle card. And then the OPOG Jiren still going up in value because he does have double strike. He is able to attack cards in active mode, and then when he does, he goes back to active mode and then gains 10,000. So that is just ridiculous, absolute ridiculous. This guy has 30,000, and then you play her, and this man has 35,000. Like, what is going on? Crazy stuff for him. So that's all the red cards. A lot of aggro, a lot of low cost. But really, you know, when you really look at it, it's really not too low. You kind of start seeing what you're gonna be playing early on, and then, you know, to the second or third turn, these are probably gonna be the cards that you want. So let me go to the black cards real quick. Time Patrol Trunks, very much of a staple. I only have 2 of them in here. if the drawing, the amount of drawing that you're doing isn't going your way, you play him for Overwhelm probably earlier into the game. You look at the two and you can place all of them at the top, all of them at the bottom, or choose one and then place on top and bottom. So very good, very good card. You know, in my Massaian deck, I really don't use him too much, to be honest. I do use him more in my other decks, so that's the thing. For this, very specific, most people use this guy, or this girl, I guess, in side decks, or keep her in side decks, but it's a 3-drop critical, right? And if the opponent's leader card is green or yellow, you choose 4 of your energy and switch them to active mode. This thing is actually kind of overpowered, but not really, because I mean, it's really all depending, because when you do player for 3 and you have 4 energy or 3 energy, it's literally playing for free, because unless they Cold Bloodlust, I mean, that's really the only thing. And I don't think they're going to be wasting Cold Bloodlust. They're probably going to be using on Fearless Pan, Jiren, maybe Kaba. I mean, that's really the only things. And then Sneak Peek, and that's just really good because it's a free critical, 15,000, 20,000 with her. I would probably play this card, probably 3rd or 4th battle card in the turn. So yeah, no yellow cards, no green cards, but the blue cards, let's talk about that real quick. Weeze Coercion, pretty much a free counter, so that's always good. That's very much of a staple. 4 Senzu Beans, because of her effect. If she's awakened, you put it on her during the battle, and then you get to switch 2 of energy and then switch to active mode. So if you need that extra energy, boom, there you go. And if you need that extra card, boom, there you go. Easy to combo with the Coercion, or even with Son Goku over here, which again, if you are 20,000 or more and you discard 2 Saiyans, you get to draw a card. You see the synergy that's going on here. It's pretty crazy. Bafuba is here, just in case you run into any Super Saiyan 4 Gokus, or any like large threats that you kind of need. You'll notice that everybody here is one blue, so you're not really gonna. It's all situational. So if you use the Mafuba for energy, I wouldn't blame you, or if you use Goku for energy, I wouldn't blame you. These two are really the biggest things. Now, you're not gonna play a 7-drop. Okay, let's put that. Let's get out the way, right? Let's get that out the way. The thing about this card, and what makes this kind of a troll card, other than having Jiren, Toppo, Trunks to attack active mode cards, is because Zeno is just the game ender here, because I mean, it really depends on how many cards they have on the deck, what the turn is, and etc, etc. But if you really want to troll a Mecha Frieza player, you play this card. And the reason for that is because Chain Attack Trunks, the reason why I play 4, does not have a restriction for red, blue, green, whatever, as far as his 15,000 power or less. So you can play this 7-drop pretty much for free and activate his effect. So what you do is have Quick Rush Trunks, have Fearless Pan up here, whatever you're going with, and depending on the situation where you're running out of options, or you're low on life, or you want to reset, this is the way to do it. And this is how you make them mad, because when you really think about it, every Mecha Frieza player will get to 3rd or 4th round with 4 or less life right then and there. Sometimes even with 2, because they will keep playing those extra cards to build up their board. And when they do, and they have 4 or 5 on their board, I mean, like 4 or 5 Great Apes or whatever they're running, and they fill it up, and now they have 2 or less life. Here comes Zeno. You play him, and it negates every other battle scarred skill, and you choose all of the cards in your battle area and as well as theirs, returns it to their deck, reshuffles, and then you draw 5. And it's like we started all over again. You might have a, depending if you played the Senzu Bean already, or if you awaken on the 3rd or 4th turn and then you play Chain Attack Trunks, and as well as this, you awaken, you flip over to, you play a Kaba. They're forced to they're forced to counter. You play another 1-drop, you play another 2-drop, whatever it may be, right? I mean, it's just one of those things where it ruins their whole plan, and I think this is probably the best way to do it. Even though, again, you do get those 5 cards, they get those 5 cards. It just makes it a little bit more fun. So, if anything, this is basically the deck. And I think if you took this in a tournament and you played the Zeno for free, and after they build up their battle cards and wasted all their life and as well as the energy, I mean, it's gonna be cool. The only thing that's kind of a threat is Cold Bloodlust. That's really about it. I mean, if you're playing it right and you're playing Fearless Man or whatever it may be, right? It's gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be able to play him pretty successfully if you are continuing to give that opponent threats. So pretty good. I think this is a pretty fun deck so far. I'm gonna take this into a tournament. I already played online a couple of times and play tested it. So far so good, right? And I would love to see and hear some opinions about this. So please let me know in the comments. Let me know what I'm wrong about. Let me know what I'm right about. Let me know if you built something pretty similar to this, and I'll let you know in the future if it goes well. I plan to build a pretty cheap-ish Majin Buu deck. I see a lot of feedback on that, and as well as just cheap in general. This game is not cheap, you know. Okay, let me take that back. It is pretty cheap compared to a lot of other games, but when you're getting to the game, I will let you know myself. I will let you know based on my experience after buying a deck and then buying another deck and then getting some booster packs, and then I'm like, oh, a box is kind of expensive, I don't need that. Yeah, eventually you do. So depending on how much you want to play and what kind of options you want to do or use, it's all depending. So either way, let me know. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.